Hey everyone, we're officially at the end of June. So, how are those New Year's resolutions going? If you're like me, maybe not as well as you hoped. In fact, when it comes down to this channel, I've been downright dismal. I started this year with a bunch of goals. Some are small, some are big. But let me be real with you. I've completely dropped the ball on a few key ones, and yeah, it's been bothering me. Honestly, it's even a little depressing. For example, I had great plans to post a video on this channel every other week. That would have been about 12 videos by now. Guess how many I've posted this year? 0. Let's not even mention my other 2 resolutions of learning Spanish and finally being able to swim. But hey, I believe I have very legitimate excuses. Hey, after 18 years I started a whole new job in an entire new industry. I definitely needed to recover from the stresses and burnout from the previous job. And my future fight with the owners, but that's for a different video. Along with all the crap that life generally throws at you. But I need to get over myself because here we are 6 months into the year, and what are the results? 0. No, I want to ask you, did you set any goals for this year? Like to become fit, maybe start reading or learn a new skill? How is that going? Well, if you're sitting here thinking, well, not so great, trust me, you're definitely not alone. I mean, the research shows that 80% of people give up on their New Year's resolutions by February. And by now, late June, only about 8% of persons are still going strong. That means the rest of us are in that 92% failure club. But the big question is, how do we move on from being in that 92 and move towards the 8 that actually makes it happen? And why do so many of us fail at reaching not only our New Year's resolutions but any goals? In my opinion, sometimes our goals are just way too vague. I want to get fit, or I want to be happier, or I want to be productive. But what do those goals actually mean? When goals are vague, it leaves your brain confused because the path isn't clear and it becomes even harder to take the first step. And I believe we're all wired to fear the unknown, and it cripples us, especially if we don't have a plan. Even if we know what we want, when we don't map it out, or there's no structure or no schedule, or we have nothing in writing, then what are we going to achieve? For me, I realize that unless I schedule it, it won't happen. So now I'm telling myself every day or every Sunday at 6 a.m. I'm going to work on a 10-minute video. Put it in the calendar, set the alarm, and no more excuses. It's kind of the same with fitness. Don't just say I'll work out this week. Say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7:30 p.m. at home, 30 minutes, and I'm done. But it's very important though to let the people around you know your schedule, because when your environment supports you, your goals are a far easier way to stay on track. And this, I believe, is where one of the biggest success factors kicks in: accountability. There's nothing like having a workout buddy or someone who check in on your progress. Sometimes we're far more motivated to show up for someone else than we are for ourselves. I think we're more okay to be a failure behind the scenes than provide all excuses and declare them publicly. I also find it much harder to go after something new completely on my own. Worse, if the goal isn't already a part of my lifestyle. Yesterday, a friend of mine said to me, "Hey, what happened to the videos?" And I started rattling off my same excuses: work, stress, no time. And as the words came out of my mouth, I began to cringe. And I hated hearing myself, and I felt very disingenuous. So thankfully, that was my wake-up call. That simple question sparked this video. And it reminded me that we all need people who keep us accountable. It said that no one achieves anything meaningful completely alone. I love this quote from John Maxwell. A wise person learns from his mistakes, and a wiser person learns from others' mistakes. But the wisest person learns from others' successes. Think about this. I know my way around Jamaica, but I almost use Google Maps every time, everywhere I drive. Why? because it gives me a step-by-step route, and it's armed with far more information than I could ever have by myself. I don't have to think, I just follow the plan. It's the same with the goals. When you have a roadmap, you are more likely to reach a destination on time and on target. Therefore, seek help and guidance from persons who know the way and have been on that journey before you. And like Google Maps, they have far more information to help structure, guide, and direct you to build the habit that you need to make those goals successful for the long term. For example, I work out at 5 a.m. at least every other day, no alarm needed. Check me 6 years ago, I would tell you, I'm not a morning person, and that's just not who I am. But now, if I miss a workout, I feel it, my whole day is off. But these videos for me now needs to be a habit that I haven't built. And until then, I need reminders, I need structure, and I need people to nudge me. So here's what I'm doing now. I'm not aiming for 50 videos anymore. I'm aiming for 10. That's it, 10 videos. And I perhaps can do the same to try and scale on all my other grandiose resolutions. Sometimes you're just not ready to overhaul your life in just one go. Don't say, I'm going to work out for 6 days a week, an hour a day. Because believe me, it's not sustainable for most people. Try this instead. 15 minutes a day, that's it. You need 5 minutes of squats, 5 minutes of push-ups, and 5 minutes of some pull-up or rows. And you'd be shocked at what being consistent at that can do over time. And as you get stronger, as it becomes a part of your rhythm, then add more. So let's start small, but let's start smart. Setting resolutions and sticking to them isn't about the hype of the resolution or the motivation. It's about strategy, structure, and support. Track your progress, journal your workouts, and reflect on how far you've come. But please don't wait until January 1st to start again. Start tomorrow morning. In fact, scratch that. Start now. Because if we keep waiting for the perfect time, the whole year will pass us by. And then another one, and then another one. And then years later, we'll have regrets that we can't fix, we can't go back and address. So let's help each other and become part of this 8% club. So here what? Let's leave a comment with just one goal that we're going to achieve together for the rest of this year. Deal?